Hello, and welcome to Nostalgia Marcana. I'm your host, Doug Leaf. Each episode of this podcast, we'll look back on the movies, TV, games, people, and phenomena that we still love talking about all these years later, and ask ourselves why these bits of pop culture still enchant us today. This week, we'll be revisiting... Happy Halloween, everybody. It is the first week in October, and we are here to talk about Killer Klowns from Outer Space. I'm really excited to be digging into this cult film, and as we'll get into, this is one we actually planned on doing last year, but for Hollywood being on strike. So I'm glad the podcast has lasted long enough to finally get around to this movie. And I should note that because it is the first week in October, that means it is the second anniversary of the show. And so I'm really glad that we're still here after 2 years doing this nonsense. And to help me talk about Killer Klowns from Outer Space, there's really only one way for me to introduce our first guest, and that is, isn't it rich? Aren't we a pair? Me with my feet on the ground and you up in the air.
Oh man,
oh, where nice. Are the clowns?
Little night music, it's always time.
And in the clouds.
The clowns.
They're already here. Rich Baker, everybody.
Thanks, Doug. That means a lot. Thank you. It's good to be here.
I know you're both a hardcore fan of this movie and Stephen Sondheim, of course.
Sure. Yeah, and now you've blended the two in such harmony.
All right. Well, I'm really glad you're here, buddy, because regular listeners of this show know how many times you have been on this show, and we wouldn't be here talking about our second anniversary if it wasn't for you. And I believe you were on the first anniversary podcast when we did Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown last year.
Yep. Yeah. Honored to be part of so many episodes, including these anniversary episodes.
Yeah, and we'll get into your nostalgic love of this movie, but first I want to introduce our other guest, and she is an improviser, a comedian, and so I'm glad we could stuff one more person into this clown car. Mary Hynes, welcome to the show, Mary.
I'm so thrilled to be here. I'm just absolutely obsessed with this movie. I actually made Rich watch it with me last year.
Yeah, I bet you had to try real hard to make him watch it.
It was a really hard sell.
Yeah.
Easiest thing ever.
So let's kick things off the way we always do with talking about our nostalgic memories of the subject. So, Rich, this has been something you've really wanted to bring to the podcast for a long time. So I'll start with you. Tell me about why you've been really just itching to talk about Killer Klowns from Outer Space.
Well, I don't remember exactly the first time I saw it, but I know I was pretty young, probably 9 or 10. And I know I saw it like home video or HBO, something like that. But and I think when I watched it, it didn't like particularly hit me at the time. Like, this is great. I was like, oh, this is just another one of many good movies, that I've been watching a lot of as a kid. But as an adult, I just kept going back to it every year. And I don't know exactly what it's about, but I love this movie. And it's one of a few that I just watch I just watch it annually. And so, Mary said to talk me into it. I remember it differently, but
actually, you're right. No, I said I wanted a horror movie, and this is your first suggestion, and I freaked out.
Yeah,
Memory amended.
I watch it once a year, like pretty much on the nose. So like I'm always trying to find like who can I watch it with this year, and I love to show it to people for the first time or other people who like it, like Mary and I just talked through the whole thing as we'd seen it before. So yeah, I'm not a huge camp horror guy necessarily, but this movie for some reason has a real special place in my heart.
Mary, how about you? Tell me about your nostalgic love for this film and why you wanted to jump in on this one today.
In my Irish Catholic household, our viewing options were very censored. I was not allowed to watch Ren and Stimpy or The Simpsons. I would occasionally be able to sneak and get some Ren and Stimpy in. Beavis and Butthead, there's no way. They would hear some of it and it would be immediately shut down. I was able to sneak South Park. So I say all of that to say that my content was very filtered. So I remember when I Saturday afternoon movie happened to come across this, it blew my mind. Also, I'm a big monster movie, like Godzilla is my hero, like he's just cranky or she's just cranky, give her a snack, and she's tired and you woke her up from her sleep. I'd be cranky too. So I just have a deep love for monster movies and also just the complete two adjacent lines of dark, sick, weird, twisted, and like, oh, jovial, haha, oh no, his bike got smashed. Like, and I don't know, it feels like just a fun secret find.
Yeah, I've only seen it once. I should say twice now because I watched it for the podcast. But I mean, I liked it. Just don't get me wrong. I liked the movie when I saw it. It's just not one it's not a perennial one for me.
Whew.
But so we've talked about it on the podcast before, like often when you're a kid, you need someone who is the conduit, the hookup for the things that your parents won't let you watch. And so for me, my friend of the pod, Shakeen and Afak, who you guys might remember last Halloween did the Rocky Horror Picture Show episode. She and her older brother were often that for me. I would go over to their house and we'd have sleepovers and things, and that would be my way of getting away with watching something like this. And that is where I saw this. I don't know how she or her brother found it, how they came across it, how it ended up in our VCR as we watched it. But I really liked it. Like it's an interesting amalgam of stuff because like there's things that we have now, like Sharknadoes and stuff that can't be horror movies, but they're sort of so winky and self-referential that they kind of barely function as movies. This is sort of like a unique relic of the 80s where like it's campy, it's weird, it's not to be taken seriously. It's not super gory or anything. So it's not like it's relatively PG-13 for a horror movie. But it still takes itself seriously just enough to avoid being something like that. It's not exactly a parody of a horror movie, if that makes sense.
This cotton candy has some more substance.
I like that.
To me, I think of this movie as, I mean, it absolutely is a horror movie, but I feel like it's a sketch comedy movie more than anything else because it takes the very simple premise of what if a predator like murdering race of aliens invaded us and they were clowns, and just heightens that to the extreme,
It definitely owes a debt to stuff from like kind of the more schlocky stuff from the 50s, your Ed Woods, things like that. Like just the title alone is evokes that idea of these 50s 60s B horror movies, but it's done like I said, there's just a soupçon of seriousness to it that kind of makes it a little more like unique than just being that, because the characters are all basically playing it seriously for the most part. They're not playing it for laughs deliberately. It just is a very, very strange scenario they're up against.
It's a farcical comedy of errors. Like it actually makes it clicks some of the highbrow theater nerd in me. There's just some really great payoff and setup of all the peasantry town folk that get killed in dramatic ways, and it continues to be heightened. And there's kind of like a woo 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 woo, like there's a Laurel and Hardy kind of thing going on with the brothers. Like there's some core elements that give it some pretty nice substance throughout.
I mean, as I was watching it this time, I taking notes, really paying attention to like stuff. Like it's not like I'm seeing like themes come through, but what I'm seeing is like influences. Like this reminded me a lot of like the original Blob. If you've ever seen the Blob,
yes,
like that's what it kind of pinged for me the most.
Yes, that's one of that's probably why I love it so much. I'm sorry to But the Blob is like, as a kid, that was my like, oh my God, it creeps and leaps and crawls. Like I love the Blob. So I'm glad that you say that, Doug. That makes sense.
Some of it's like it's literally like kind of alien thing lands on the outskirts of a
Kind of
small
quirky,
town.
kind of
Yeah,
cute.
it's sort of like weird. It's quirky. It doesn't seem it's like it should be too threatening until it's overwhelming a movie theater. Like those kind of things. Like it's like I said, a lot of 50s, 60s B horror stuff. That goes into this with just enough 80s kind of edge to make it a very unique, weird entry into the pantheon of horror movies.
For me, this reminds me of a movie that Doug, you and I have already talked about way back on this podcast, which is Gremlins.
Yep.
Small town gets invaded by, essentially an alien, a foreign race of creatures that are out to do harm, and it's like, what do you do? Now, I think Gremlins cast was significantly better, and they were going to a little bit more serious tone than this, but they're two great movies for very different reasons.
Yeah, I get this definitely reminded me of Gremlins as well. That was the other one I thought of when I was watching this. Gremlins is a little more gory, a little more, it goes a little harder for that. Like this is somewhere like halfway between the tone of Gremlins and Gremlins 2, which we'll get around to someday.
Sure.
Like because of the way this incorporates clown iconography, like it's like, oh, okay, any like thing you've seen clowns do in a classic Barnum and Bailey circus, like they're gonna do, but now it's fatal, whatever it is, right? It'll kill you.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's bust out a big bag of popcorn and talk about this movie beat by beat. So we open with just a shot of stars and some kind of synth music and this distorted laughter, and we get this incredible theme song. Yeah, they must have had a lot of fun putting this together. Like it's the music for this, it incorporates so everybody's heard this piece of music. That piece of music is called, I believe it's something like Enter the Gladiators. I think that's what it's called. But yeah, we've got the theme song with the cool lyrics and stuff. And we sort of just get shots of the town, and some of the locations we'll be seeing later. So we get like Big Top Burger, where we'll spend some time, like clown themed burger joint, and we watch this sort of our one of these like lower level villains, Officer Mooney, is just sort of taking stock of everybody in the town, and he hates everyone.
He's
and everything.
So aggressive and jaded and moody. Like, what in the nom trauma is going on with this man?
He's an angry guy.
Angry.
There were a lot of people in that generation that were very angry for legit reasons. I don't know what his reasons were, but he was just a crabby crab.
Crabby crabber.
It's almost like an improv game where it's just like whatever happens, it's how do I turn this into something I'm angry about?
Yeah.
and wrong about.
And the whole like these meddling kids. Like
yeah, he's one of the best characters. He's turned up to 11, and he is Rich. He's someone whose voice I was like, who is this voice? How do I know this guy? Rich, you know his biggest voice role that you'd know him from?
I know I should know him from something. What is it?
He's Rupert Thorne from Batman the Animated Series.
Dang.
And he's also Dean Wormer from Animal House.
I knew his Animal House, but yeah.
Yeah,
it's great.
I kept hearing that voice and going like, this guy sounds like a voice actor. Like he's got this like great kind of baritone, intimidating voice. And as soon as I looked at I saw like, oh, he's Rupert Thorne. I'm like, oh, of course he is. Yeah.
Wow. Good pull. I did not put that together. That's great.
Yeah.
Batman the Animated Series, another episode of Nostalgia Marketum that I got to do with Doug.
One of my favorites. That was early on too. It was like the 16th or so episode. So yeah, we watch Mooney driving around, and we go to Makeout Point at top of the world. Every small town has their like area where teens gather to for necking
and Princess Beige, the little taupe temptress in her long sleeve shirt and her oversized romper, is just ready to make out on a life raft.
Yeah, I clock that as well. It's like they're on a life raft making out, which is
He's wearing his Christmas Brillo pad control the stink sweater. What's going on with the costuming? I mean, maybe the costume designer had more to focus on, probably.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess maybe the reason that I was thinking why they're in such drab colors is to counteract the clown aesthetic.
that's a good.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, they definitely.
He's
Yeah,
in
they
taupe the whole time. Ooh, temptress in taupe. Like what? Like fully clothed in like beiges and creams.
Yeah, she's got some big old ladies' hair.
She's
It's great.
perfect.
This is Mike and Deb. These are our two protagonists, by the way.
Mike, so stressed. I'm Mike.
He's got
His character's name is Mike Tobacco, but the only way you would know that is to watch the credits. It's like, what an interesting. We got to call him some last name. I don't know. I'm chewing tobacco. Call him Tobacco.
He's got some Bruce Campbell energy. I feel like
Yeah.
I wish it was Bruce Campbell. Honestly, that would kind of like kick it up
Sure.
one more notch.
Yeah.
But we get some of the making out, but we're it's coitus interruptus because this huge clown themed ice cream truck comes plowing in for a tasty treat while you screw.
I'm Jojo, the ice cream clown with the bestest ice cream in town. We'll give you the stick, you give it a lick, and it'll tickle you all the way down. Ice cream, we brought our goodies here to you. A tasty treat for while you screw. Let's take a break. Cool off those hot lips with our tasty frozen fruity bars, icy wicies, fudgy wudgy bars, and everyone's favorite frozen delight, the lick-a-stick.
Jeez, what the? Get out of here, you morons! Hey, take your ice cream and get lost!
Oh, yeah?
Quiet down.
So you don't want any ice cream? Well, you're not getting any.
You were getting it before you showed up. Those guys, man, what the hell are they doing here? Great idea, Paul. Everybody loves ice cream.
What do you mean? It was your idea. Hey, why don't we just park here for a while?
Hey, what are you guys trying to pull here?
Oh, well, we thought we'd park here for a while.
You said we could have all the ice cream we wanted, but you didn't say anything about parking. What kind of girls do you think we are?
I told you they weren't that stupid.
We want you to take us home right now. Yeah.
Take it easy. Keep your shirt on.
Don't worry, we intend to.
I want to know about
yeah.
the casting for the brothers. Like, first of all, like I feel like the three siblings, Charles, Stephen, and Edward Chiodo, excuse me for if I'm mispronouncing. I feel like they just were like had two. You know what? You're funny. You know what? You're funny. You want to be the ice cream truck guys in our movie?
Yeah, they're the creative force behind the movie. We should say these three brothers.
Yeah.
That did all this.
I just feel like they picked up their friends and were like, could be in the movie.
It totally feels that way. Of like somehow they like I don't know if they, made a deal with the Russian mob or whatever to scrounge up the money to make this movie.
Something.
But like,
It doesn't.
yeah, like you never heard of these people, but somehow they cobbled together money. They've got some actors that are probably their friends to do this. It's got a lot more production value than that would suggest, actually. But yeah, so this whole thing, like, these guys are like these skeevy brothers are there to like sell ice cream to these teenagers who are there to make out, which is like maybe the least obvious thing you could do with an ice cream truck. Like, I don't know, show up to the junior high school when it lets out. That's what the ice cream truck did in my town. It showed up to sell ice cream to where the kids were.
The women that they have in the back, they're like, hey, why did nobody said anything about parking? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, and not to body shame, but they definitely were like, let's get some Zoftig women to be the ice cream fans. And then they're clearly like, we're not. Just so you know, we're going to eat your ice cream. We have no intention of hooking up with you. We're not that desperate.
Yeah.
So we're back to making out. The ice cream truck strikes out. They drive off bickering. We'll see more of them later. And this they're as we said, they're making out on this raft that's like in the back of a truck under the stars when
Like you do.
when this huge fireball comes sailing overhead. And we cut to who I have in my notes. I don't know his real name. I have in my notes is Old Man McGucket.
Bobby Hornswoggle. Did you see that little old sky jockey zip down in their poo? Haley's comet, and he's landed in our backyard. There's going to be thousands of people are coming. They're going to have hot dogs, going to have helicopters and airplanes and tacos. This is our lucky day. We're going to be rich. Ooh, we're going to be rich.
And Boo, Boo, the sweet bloodhound baby.
He's listed on IMDb as Farmer Gene Green.
Farmer
But
Gene
we would not know that again from watching the movie.
Because it never says his name. Yeah.
Nope. But
Yeah.
I like your name, Doug.
That is a character from Gravity Falls with a very similar voice. It's, Old Man McGucket. Is how
Yeah.
he sounds. And that's who this guy is, like the most human cartoon in the movie, ahead of the. That includes the clowns.
Yeah.
He is-
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd put
Bobby Hornswoggle.
Yeah, he literally uses like, what
Yeah.
tarnation.
It's
Like those
amazing.
words.
Just it's a stream of ism.
We're
It's just
going to
so-
be rich. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say I'd put the shopkeep up with him, but we'll talk about him later.
Yeah. He
Oh,
never,
yeah, I feel bad for him.
Old Man McGucket here never stops talking. He is by himself in all of the scenes that he's in, except for the dog, his
He's with
bloodhound.
Boo the bloodhound.
But it's very funny that like his job is to be this just stream of verbiage and again tarnation hornswoggled, authentic frontier gibberish. As he just talks about he sees the fireball, he goes to investigate the fireball.
It's Haley's comet.
Yeah, he says it's Halley's Comet at one point, which is great. And he grabs a shovel. and says,
Yeah.
"We're gonna be rich."
He's gonna dig it up. Like,
Actually,
I would say Shakespearean to this is if you can't play Hamlet, play this guy. Like, he's got a monologue the whole time. He's got to bring a shovel out in the middle of nowhere. Like this is a great role.
I'll actually give him that on the shovel because I've fantasized about this happening, which is like if a meteorite actually lands, like if it's a decent size, those things are worth an incredible amount of money. So,
I haven't had this fantasy. I'm missing out. I'll add it to my dream list.
yeah, of being almost hit by a meteor and then striking it rich. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll add it at the bottom. See, yeah.
There you go.
Yep. So yeah, he thinks he's gonna be rich. The Mike and Deb also want to investigate this. So
And immediately Deb is like, I don't feel good about this.
she knows she's in a horror movie, I think, to some degree. She must have some inkling this is going to end badly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they hop off. We cut back to Gene Green here, not mean Gene Green, but so yeah, he finds where what would have been a meteor hit, and instead, in the middle of the woods, is a giant big top.
Well, I'll be greased and fried. What in blue blazes is the circus doing up in these parts? Yeah, I love the circus. Come on, maybe we can get us some free passes. Come on, Pooh. I never seen one that looked like this one before. Well, I don't know, Pooh. There's something kind of peculiar around here. Where is everybody? There ain't nobody around. Where's the dang ticket booth? How are we supposed to get in and see the show?
and he goes through like he's dead. Like there's
Feels so bad about the dog, guys. Like the elderly and animals are sacred, and immediately the dog is cotton candy, and then sweet old G Golly Gobs is right up next. Like it's a 1-2 punch, y'all.
To be fair, we don't see the dog die, so I'm just going to assume that he somehow escaped and that the scene got cut.
That's right. He did get trapped in a net. Okay, thank you, because I have it's hard for me.
Sure.
Yeah, I think the dog's name is Pooh Bear. He says.
Yep.
Oh, Pooh Bear. I thought it was Boo Bear always. Oh yeah.
It's Pooh Bear.
And I would be remiss if I didn't mention that because another friend and frequent guest of the show, Jala Prendez, who I think you most recently heard on our In Living Color episode, her dog is named Pooh Bear. So
Pooh Bear, you Pooh Bear, Pooh Bear, Pooh Bear.
So one of the things that happens in this scene though is like first he notices that the cables that are holding up the tent are like alien cables. They're actually kind of
different.
I love the design of those things. They're like kind of blue and they've got these like little knobs on them. And when he touches them, he gets horrendously electrocuted.
Yeah. I'm going to just say and this is the start of a long, but the art design is just so great. And it starts here and it just gets better and better and heightens all the way to the end. And a lot of tender love and care was put into all the stuff by the artist, whether it was the sets themselves, the makeup, all of it.
All the tubes and the Home Depot raids that they used, all of this like random tubing and like soundproofing padding, like they did such a good job on a small budget. And then that's where the camp is fun. You're like, oh, the little, I don't know, just looking at it in detail. But you're right, Rich. They really did they did a good job.
Yeah, I think them not half-assing this is what gives the movie like that extra little layer, like because if it looked cheap, I think it'd be easy to not take seriously, but it actually looks pretty good, like especially because we meet a clown here, and it's like I love the design of these things because it's like they are humanoid, but they're not quite humanoid enough, and most of them are much bigger than the average human,
and it just brings you right into the world.
Yeah,
the animatronics on their faces are actually fairly sophisticated.
So fun fact, they used some of the masks later for Ernest Scared Stupid.
I'd read that somewhere,
which I think is really cool. But then after that, they were pretty destroyed because the latex doesn't do well over time.
The clown uses this like ray gun on him, and we don't see what happens to him yet. We'll find out exactly what these ray guns do. It's like I love that it's like a ray gun that's like it's not a pew pew like G.I. Joe laser. It's this like squiggly like pink, almost like Ghostbusters where it's like all over the place, like a squiggle.
Plasma kind of.
Yeah. So we cut to the police station. Mooney has brought in 2 punks who he puts in the jail. We'll spend some more time.
One guy's hair. The black hair, like, oh, holy wings, like, oh, fly away, little bird. He looks amazing.
He's got a little flock of seagulls thing.
He looks so good.
And we get to see how bad Mooney is at his job, just abuse of power right away, and just like roughing people up. And,
What's going on, Kurt?
Same old shit. I got him boozing it up in the park.
We were just walking through the park on the way to the dorm. We had a bottle of wine.
Yeah, it's a beautiful night. We were walking around. We didn't do nothing.
You guys go to the college, right?
Yeah, right.
So why don't you just stay there and do your drinking on campus? Why do you have to come into town?
Well, I mean, we live in this town, too. I mean, we don't have to just stay on campus.
Yeah. And it's scum like you that are killing this town.
Come on, Kurt! Kurt, come on, Kurt, now just take it easy. Just
what's the matter, Dave? You got a thing for these little boys? Empty your pockets!
We just had a little wine. What's the problem?
You're the problem, you little shit!
Just lighten up, Mooney. Just lighten up.
Back off, Dave. Open container, public intoxication, littering, disturbing the peace, resisting arrest. These kids are history. Unless you want to rewrite the laws, Mr. Police Academy.
Oh, look, you got this problem with my training. I don't care. But when you bring someone into the station, I don't want to see you beating them up. Now, if you're going to book them, do it according to procedure. or I swear, Kurt, you and that badge of yours will be history.
I'll tell you what's gonna be history, Dave. These kids. Now get in there. Get in there!
And he also gets into a pissing match with Dave, the other cop there.
Speaking of hair, just
Yeah.
his hair is, ooh, Officer Dreamy reporting for duty. And he's so tan, so spray tan, like, ooh, Officer Dreamy.
Yeah, and he's a lot younger. I should say Mooney is like middle-aged, and this guy is like probably what?
Fresh from the
25?
academy. They kind of established that. He's like, you don't like my training.
Well, we know he used to date Deb.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he's got to be fairly young, and she's got to be hopefully at least 18 or 19. And so that something untoward did not happen. But there's a pissing match between him and Mooney. Like there's definitely like Mooney hates everyone, including this guy who like he works with on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So so we see a couple in a car. It's Deb and Mike. They come to this fence where they realize they have to stop and proceed on foot. They do some back and forth banter that has not aged well because it's a little racist against indigenous Americans.
Yeah, that really got that hit me when I watched it this time. I was like, ooh, ow, 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 ow.
I'm doing a we smoke 'em peace pipe kind of bit. Like
it does not. It didn't. That didn't right. No, I didn't like
Different
it.
time.
Nope. But they decide to again they're hoofing it on foot, and they stick together, and they find the big top and they enter it. And I'm glad they do this early, that we get a chance to look around the inside of the ship early in the movie. I think that because we know we're probably going to come back here at the end of it, but I'm glad that we get to see what it's like in there first, because it's pretty Alice in Wonderland-y inside there.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. What is it, a nuclear power plant?
No.
A missile silo?
No.
A military base?
The shooting star!
What are you talking about?
The shooting star we went to go look for. We are in it! What was that?
I don't know. But it's coming this way.
Here, come on.
To me, it's good. It's good writing because we get to see a lot of locations twice. But I'm also sure it's a budget thing of like, if we're putting all this money into the spaceship, we're not just seeing it once.
Right. Because they're allowed to wander around it they with pretty unfettered access. The clowns, I guess, are not anticipating anyone coming in, and they're mostly not lurking around inside, at least if they may be in another part of the ship or something, because they go in, they investigate a couple of different doors. The first door opens into this like Death Star like shaft.
Yeah,
that
was very
huge,
Star Wars.
Yeah, Tesla coil and stuff. And it's their first inkling of like, this is not a circus. What is this? And then they go into the next room, which we'll spend some more time in, which is this room full of these like, they look like giant pink rabbit feet. You know,
or like like punching bags, but yeah, rabbit feet. Yeah.
And then he's like, maybe it's a place that makes cotton candy. And like, have you ever seen cotton candy?
Yeah, I've never seen cotton candy made like this. Like, you crazy?
Yep. And so they decide, well, we'll just reach into some of this cotton candy and see what's inside. And it's a bloody face.
It's their friend.
Whoops-a-doodle.
Being cotton candified.
Yep. Yeah. Another 50s sci-fi thing this reminded me of a little bit was like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, like the pods.
Oh,
sure.
And
you know that?
The cotton candification happens very quickly. There's got to be some really high sugar content or some radioactive plasma involved, because it happens very fast throughout the entire film.
Yes, let's get a scientist to verify if cotton candy can actually dissolve a body that quickly.
I wanna see the Mythbusters.
Yeah, we never get exactly the full extent of what this is for, other than I guess that they are eating.
There's sex.
Oh, they liquefy in there or something, because at one point later there's a straw happening.
Crazy straw. Cotton candified. It's official term. Cotton candified.
Yeah.
Yeah. And another thing I like about this movie is it hints enough at the lore to where you have a million questions and it's like, oh, we're not answering any of them. Like,
Yeah,
you
because
figure it out.
you have to buy into their killer clowns from outer space. It's in the title. So,
Sure.
you know,
Also,
yeah.
they have like demonic kind of powers and access to unlimited props. Like as we go throughout, I might, point out what I'm talking about. And by might, I mean I will. But they're kind of also like demonic, no?
Oh yeah.
There's definitely a sense of like they're extremely
Omnipotence.
powerful. Yeah, like
Yeah.
like because almost anything they just kind of keep pulling more tricks out of the bag.
There's so many
basically.
props.
Yeah, and they're all
And
awful.
access.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Deb figures it out quickly what this is. This is a UFO. This is what crashed to Earth, and they need to hide because a clown is coming in with a new cotton cocoon. They open up another one of these just to see what's going on, and it's someone they know. So they decide they got to run for it. So they run. They escape the ship, and the clowns pursue with a balloon dog that is like a bloodhound balloon dog. Like it picks up their scent and goes after them.
I like that there's this through line of, despite being absolutely terrifying at their core, they're still clowns.
Yeah. Clowns gotta do what clown does.
So their mannerisms and quirks are clown. So I think that's part of what like the charm of it to me. It's like, oh my God, this is scary. And also, oh my God, that's so cute.
Yeah, like it's hard to look at, this thing making a balloon dog that's going to be a weapon and view it the same way you would watch, I don't know, The Shining.
Sure.
It's just a different tone. But
I
it is
love
like
it.
But I love how it's like if there's something that clowns do that you recognize as like a clown trope, it's going to show up. Yeah.
That's the sketch comedy element, like when I'm writing, it's always like I love generating lists of 10 and it's like heightening. So that payoff is so satisfying, all the different ways we experience it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they haul ass. They actually hit one of the clowns with their car on their way, and the clowns take off after them towards town, but like at a leisurely pace. Like the clowns don't need to rush anywhere. They're
Great waddle.
Michael Myers, just like we're taking our time, no rush.
Yeah. And so they race over to the police station, and as they arrive at the police station to report murders and cotton candy cocoons, which they know no one will believe, we start to get shots of the clowns in town. And we get this one I particularly like with this drugstore like animatronic gorilla, and the clown decides he's just going to stand on the other side of the door and also act like an animatronic.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was hilarious, right? It's just like and they even look like ew, but very funny.
I like the voices for the clowns too. Like they speak, they have like a clownish language.
They're like a gibberish kind of language.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not quite Jawas and they're not quite minions.
That's a good pull.
The biggest discernible soundbite for me, I might like jumping a little bit, but we can always jump back. The clown with the motorcycle gang. He clearly says in his clown language, "Put up your dukes." It's like it's something that's very clearly, I don't know. That was like the Rosetta Stone key for me. of understanding their language. So I'm curious to see if anyone else, has any other Rosetta Stone moments.
Yeah, I never had any trouble understanding what they were talking about or thinking. You get just like with the minions, exactly. You kind of you sort of get the gist of it, even though it's gibberish.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So Deb tries to describe what happened. She gives an exact recounting of what happened, as a matter of fact. And unsurprisingly, Mooney does not believe them, because who would believe this?
He's so angry.
Sure.
Yeah. And Dave is skeptical as well. And I've got my notes here, like he just says or Mooney's just like, "You little fart."
Yeah.
This is another ice cream stunt, meeting the brothers that we met before.
Okay, we were up at the top of the world, and we saw this shooting star, and we decided to go look for it. But instead of finding the shooting star, we saw this circus tent. And that's when we went inside, and that is when we saw those people in those pink cotton candy cocoons. Dave, it was not a circus tent. It was something else.
What?
It was a spaceship, and there was these things, the killer clowns, and they shot popcorn at us. We barely got away.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Holy shit.
Dave, we are telling you the truth. You've got to believe us.
Let me tell you something, honey. I was just over there. There's nothing going on.
Excuse me, please, but we're talking to Dave.
Yeah, just hold on a second, Mooney. They say some people are dead. Let's hear them out.
Right, Dave? Okay. Clowns, cotton candy, flying popcorn. Go ahead. Let it make fools out of the police department. I told you I was just over there. Who are you going to believe, me or this little tramp?
Now, come on, Mooney. I'm handling this, all right? All right, Debbie. Who's your friend?
Mike, we go to school together.
You two were up at top of the world together?
Yeah.
I know you, you little fart. You hang out with the Terenzi brothers. Clowns. I get it. Another one of their stupid stunts to sell ice cream from that goddamn truck those hoodlums run around in.
Mooney is not having any of this. At no point does he go like, well, maybe they're describing it weird, but someone could have actually been hurt. I should go investigate that. Like, none of that. Nope. The whole thing is fake. It's all bullshit. I'm not doing anything.
I don't know if there's any fan fiction out there about Mooney, but I'd love for someone to justify how he got so angry at the end.
Mm-hmm. Love that origin story.
You want the third act flashback, right? Where, a clown killed his wife or something.
Perfect.
That works.
So Dave decides he is gonna at least go and take a look around or do some kind of investigating. He's not gonna write them off entirely. And we got to a kid who comes across a puppet show, which
and his reaction to it, he's like, what is he doing with his face? Like, he's reacting to that.
It's an odd performance.
It's an odd performance.
Yeah. But it's memorable. He gets no lines. He's just kind of on screen for a few seconds, but you remember him.
Yeah, and so we get this like Punch and Judy thing going with the puppets, and then one puppet pulls out like a giant ray gun, and the clown emerges out of the booth.
I love that he like Alice in Wonderland in the house when she like grows too big, like grows out of the house. I love that he like grows out of the little puppet show stage. It's so awesome.
Yeah, like I said, they're big. They're like on average, they're what, like 8 feet tall or something?
I'd say that's about right.
Yeah. So he gets blasted into cotton candy. Yeah, blasted into cotton candy. And then we cut to the clown, one of the clowns in the drugstore that he was before pretending to be a mannequin outside of. And just like dismantling the store. Like this is very Gremlin-ish, right? Just pulling shit off the shelves for no obvious reason.
Some of it is like curious too. Like some of it is messing stuff up, but some of it's like, what does this do?
Yeah. And we see he's cocooned 2 of the girls that already went in there.
Yeah.
But he's left the shopkeep, who it was, I assume, just told by the director, just keep looking as big-eyed as possible every time we roll camera.
Yeah.
Accomplished.
Because we keep cutting back to this guy a bunch, and he's still just sitting there, behind the counter, like, worrying about the clown.
Poor guy.
Yeah. So we get a quick thing where we find out that Dave still has kind of a thing for Deb. They used to be together.
All right, we're going up there to check this out. First, I'm taking you home, babe.
No way. I'm going back up there with you. You can't tell me what to do.
Debbie, just listen to me, would you?
I don't have to listen to you. You are not my boyfriend anymore, all right?
Yeah, that's right. I'm not your boyfriend anymore. It doesn't change the way I feel about you, though, Debbie.
Dave, please. Don't do this to me.
All right, Debbie, you got a choice. Well, either go home or I'm going to take you back to the station and lock you up for safekeeping. How's that?
Before we cut to what I have in my notes as pizza and 4 clowns. So like there's a knock at the door, like a random person is like, oh, good, pizza's here. And there's like one of the clowns holding a pizza, and then like more clowns just sort of keep entering the frame until blam.
This is just sketch comedy. Just like, okay, what else would a clown do? What's next? More bits.
I've never loved a murder spree more.
Yeah, and I love that the clowns are like, we have to. We it's not enough for us to just cocoon people, like open doors and do it. Like there has to be a little bit of showmanship.
Give
here.
them Valentine's hearts. Oh my
Yeah.
god. Yeah.
Right. That's the next one is a candygram.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Dave pulls over the squad car there, and Deb wants to talk to Mike outside.
Mm-hmm.
She says she wants to follow them back. They're going to go investigate the big top, and Dave and Mike basically say like, no, you stay home. You know, you've had enough danger for one night. Let the men folk go and investigate the circus. So she's gonna spend a lot of time taking a shower in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
A very long shower. You know what? She deserved it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Had a long night.
She was making out in the raft.
Right. Yeah, she needs to get washed up. There's no question.
Yeah, it's kind of gross.
So we get to go back to the drugstore. Just more dismantling the drugstore.
Can I point out one thing, that the popcorn is crawling across the floor, just like the steak is crawling across the counter in Poltergeist. And so it's interesting seeing that the tile is like both on a seam, so I'm sure it's like a little stick underneath it, but I noted that, possessed food crawling across tile.
Yeah, when we were inside the ship, I should say, in the cotton candy room, which again kind of like shades of like Willy Wonka stuff, but like there's this in the foreground, there's this huge popcorn popper.
Yeah.
And we're gonna find out exactly what the popcorn is and does in a little while. Yeah. Mike leads Dave back to the woods. The tent is no longer there. There's just a giant hole in the ground, and because they get in this argument about like, did he lie to the police? It's like, no, I just have no proof.
My proof is gone.
Proof is gone.
Wait a minute. Where is it?
Yeah, that's what I'd like to know, pal.
It was right there where that hole is.
So you're saying that hole is where the tent was? The tent made that hole? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, it was there. Look, we saw it. That's a fact.
I'll tell you what the facts are, mister. You said people are being killed. Now, where are the bodies?
I don't know. I saw Joe Lombardo dead. I can only tell you what I think I saw.
Oh, so now you just think you saw?
No, I know what I saw. I just can't prove it. My proof is gone.
Yeah, right. Turn around, pal. Mooney was right, huh? Got nothing better to do but cause problems. Well, you're not gonna get away with it this time.
Get away with what? Debbie saw it too.
Yes, she did, didn't she?
Oh, come on.
So he is handcuffed for this, which is seems a little harsh.
Yeah. Especially since it has no consequences. I was like, oh, okay, sure.
And now we get to this ridiculous scene between the littlest clown and a bunch of bikers.
I love this scene so much. I love it so much.
Such a fan favorite.
Yeah. Go ahead, Rich. You want to describe this scene?
It's a bully
really
scene, right? Like it's a classic 80s bully scene. Someone different, in this case, a very tiny alien killer clown, shows up on a bike, and there's a whole bunch of people who think they're cool, and they start, razzing him. And this lead guy bully's like, can I ride your bike? And the clown's like, no, he can't ride my bike. And, good for the clown for saying that. And then he's like, well, can I honk the horn? And he's like, all right, and he nods, he can honk the horn. And then the dude trashes his bike.
So mean.
And by bike, we should say this is like a little like clown tricycle kind of bike.
With all the HVAC hoses from Home Depot run.
Right. And
It's
like
such a cute little bike.
Yeah. And so the clown jumps away and he comes back with boxing gloves. And so the bully is like, you want to knock my block off?
Big bad JoJo coming into town.
Watch this, baby.
Is that bike too big for you?
Hey, Cloudy! Mean bike you got there. Yeah. Can I take a ride, pal?
Oh, come on. Take a ride.
Can I beep the horn? Oh, thank you!
Should have let the man ride his bike.
I'm sorry. I seem to have broken your bike. Where'd it go?
What are you gonna do?
Knock my block off.
And so the clown uppercuts him, and it is a flawless victory, fatality.
Knocks his block off.
And his head goes into a trash can, and everybody screams.
Should have let him ride your bike.
Yeah. Be cooler if you did, man.
So we get to the Big Top Burger, and there's a bunch of kids there having hamburgers and stuff. I never got a good beat on like what time of day this is, where like the teenagers are making out at night, but the kids are still having dinner. So I don't know what time it is. But anyway, we see one of the clowns in the parking lot, kind of like waving at this little blonde girl.
What's sitting on one of those little
spring horses.
Yeah, like at a playground, like spring horses. Yep.
Yep. And we see he's got like a giant mallet behind his back.
Yeah.
Fortunately, mom grabs the kid just before she's about to head out into the parking lot to meet her doom, and the clown is not happy about that turn of events.
To me, this moment very much echoed the dog in the net moment of like, we're going to hint that these clowns are capable of awful things, but we're not going to show it to you because we know what kind of movie this is, and we don't want to harsh your buzz.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'd be a little too dark, I think,
Yeah.
to have this clown kill, a 9-year-old.
Like,
She's
I
a
mean,
cute
there's
little
a
girl,
million
too.
horror movies that are gross and like very R-rated and stuff that are still campy, but this movie tells you it's like, we're comedy, we're not trying to make you feel weird,
Yeah. So Dave drives back to make out Point, and they find a car with its trunk open and stuff everywhere. And then Dave sees another car that has cotton candy on it, which seems to now finally corroborate the story that Mike and Deb have been telling. And he opens the door, and the inside of this car is just like festooned with the cotton candy.
Cotton candy webs.
Yeah, cotton candy webs, and they find a pair of glasses in the cotton candy.
Mm-hmm.
Which was the nerd from the beginning.
Oh, and you know who played that nerd?
Who did?
Comedian Christopher Titus.
Woo!
That's right. I saw that this was his first movie role somewhere.
Yeah, for him, this is like Kevin Bacon is to Friday the 13th. It's
Love
like,
it.
that guy was in that very low budget thing and became kind of a big name. Nice.
Yeah. So we cut back to Mooney at his desk, and he's starting to get a whole bunch of phone calls about the rampant clown murders, all of which he disregards as pranks.
Smoking a cigar, like.
Crescent Cove Police Station, Mooney speaking. Wait a minute. Calm down, I can't understand you. What? Oh, clowns, huh? And now they're at your front door, huh? Wait a minute, who is this? Stupid kids and the pranks. Rich little bastards. And shoot them all. Daddy sends them to fancy schools so the police department can babysit the little pricks. Police station, Mooney speaking. Yep.
Oh, Kurt, I think I have a bit of a problem here.
Just a minute. This is not you too, Mr. Myers. Police station, Mooney here. What? Oh, they took your wife away in a balloon? Well, you don't need a police pal, you need a psychiatrist. Mr. Myers? Did the Renzi brothers have the whole town in on this? What the hell with them all?
Yeah. So he starts monologuing. Yeah, he's monologuing about how everyone's a prick. And finally, he gets a call from the drugstore guy who says that they took his wife away in a balloon.
Took his wife away in a balloon. And at that moment, the clowns, some of the things they want to buy, I love that it's like Bugs Bunny vitamins are like, and Alka-Seltzer are some of the things that they're purchasing.
He's put like a giant pile of crap onto the counter.
Yeah, I just like the Bugs Bunny vitamins and Alka-Seltzer.
Yeah. But Mooney just says, to hell with them all, and hangs up, showing how great at his job he is.
Yep.
Yeah, and he pours himself a drink.
Yep. Yeah, that's it. He's good for the night. And the phones just keep on ringing, and he does not care. We get this scene of a clown trying to drive a guy off the road with his like nearly invisible.
Yeah, how does that work? That doesn't make sense to me.
It's like I love that they're telling the whole movie, like, we're not explaining shit. You accept this for what it is.
You accept this and you like it.
It's like, yeah, because I mean, everything they do is clownish, right? Like miming is a clown activity, right? So he's miming a car, and it works, and his feet are headlights. Cool.
Let it go, Deborah.
Let it go, Deborah.
Yep. Speaking of which, we cut to Deb, who is beginning her 5-year shower, and this is where you said we cut down to like kind of the floor, and we see there's popcorn all over the floor, and some of it is like crawling and moving, which it looks really good. Like I like, it looks convincing. I don't know if they had a little like tiny.
Sorry, I thought the crawl.
Robot.
Yeah.
Again, the attention to detail, the artistry, the puppetry, it's like people really worked hard.
Okay, I know this is me trying to make sense of it again, but how do the popcorn alien clowns grow in the laundry basket? Because the other ones that are sprinkled in the dumpster at the circus burger, they clearly are nourished from burgers and fry drippings. But what nourishes the ones in her hamper?
Laundry. I guess. They're eating clothes. I don't know.
Crotch clowns.
They might be eating each other. They might be cannibalistic.
Okay, because I'm just like, how do you know what I'm saying?
You got a little bit of a conservation of mass problem. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, we should get the scientists back for this one.
Yeah, as you said, that's the next scene. Is this clown. The clown at the fast food joint is dumping a bunch of this popcorn into the dumpster. And yeah, it's interesting. There's no sound as the trash is dumped into the dumpster. Like you don't hear like and this is just a sound design thing. You don't hear anything when the bag of trash goes in, but you do hear a lot of this like chittering sound. And so the guy looks down into the dumpster and is just sucked into it.
It's
that part always makes me laugh. I'm like, oh, dude, you don't even stand a chance.
Yeah, if I hear weird noises like that coming from a dumpster, I am not going anywhere inside to investigate.
Don't go near it, man. Like, if your town's being invaded by killer clowns from outer space, don't open a dumpster. Like,
it's a 101.
Yep. So we get Dave calling the state police, trying to get analysis of this cotton candy substance, and he starts apologizing. Essentially, he and Mike kind of apologize to each other, and talking about, I guess, that why Deb might prefer one to the other.
Yeah,
I have something in my notes here about she goes for laughs and not stability.
Yeah, I love that line. Yeah. I love it.
And so now we get to where things get even weirder, because the clown.
So weird.
It's already so weird, but now so a clown pulls up to a bus stop. There's a bunch of just people hanging around the bus stop. And he starts making shadow puppets of it, and they've got these like. Their fingers, again, this is like foam latex stuff. So they're almost like Hulk hands, like the real rubbery, giant, like tuber fingers. But nevertheless, despite that, they are dexterous enough to recreate a shadow puppet that is like Washington crossing the Delaware.
Yeah. And the guy boos his rabbit. Like at first when he does his rabbit, he's like, boo. Like
space clown magic, man.
Mm-hmm.
I love Washington crossing the Delaware. That one. That's a fun little what?
Yep.
It was great, and they just again sketch comedy heightened, and of course ends with the kill. But like this is the second time that puppetry has been the source of murder And it won't be the last.
Yeah. So Mike sees this shadow puppet. He tells Dave, "Hey, pull over," which they do to watch a shadow T-Rex. It's just the shadow somehow just eats all the people.
So
at the bus stop.
cool.
Very cool.
And I feel bad for that old lady. Again, I'm here with my feelings worried about the elderly and the animals.
Yeah.
This is what finally, as if the other stuff wasn't enough, this convinces Dave. Because how could it not?
Yes.
The true nature of the threat.
What are you doing, buddy? You could have gotten both of us killed.
I'm sorry, I freaked out a little bit. Where is he?
I don't know. I don't see him anywhere.
He's gone. He went straight up.
I've seen enough. 1 Baker 5. Kurt, do you read me, over?
1 Baker 5, this is Mooney speaking. I was a little worried about you. I thought the big bad clowns got a hold of you. Over.
Mooney, I want you to listen to me and don't say anything. I want you to call the state police and get help. There are clowns and they are killing people, over.
Okay, let me get this straight. You say there are clowns and you've seen him. Okay, Dave, that's it. Screw you and your college flunkies. I've had enough of this from you and from everyone else. I know what you guys are trying to do. Break me down, drive me out of the force. Well, it's going to take a hell of a lot more than a lame prank like this to get Curtis Mooney to throw in his badge, so fuck you. Over.
Yeah. And the people are somehow in his clasped hands, and he puts them in the bag of popcorn. So is he nourishing the popcorn with the human bodies that are miniaturized? Maybe.
Yes.
Maybe.
A circle of life, kind of symbiotic.
Yeah.
Feeding, being fed situation.
So they call Mooney again. That goes nowhere, and so
he's so mean. So mean.
So the new goal is we got to get in touch with the state police to get more
new goal
manpower. Yeah, to do something about this. So Mike and Dave end up splitting up because the ice cream truck arrives, and Dave decides he's going to go back to the station. Mike's going to go with the ice cream truck guys. And so he's now we have a lot more of scenes of like, now Mike has someone new that he has to convince about all of the goings on.
Oh, he does. Yeah. He finally reached a goal and is like, bolt back to the bottom.
Yep. And so they don't believe him, but he comes up with this idea of roommates.
Is this where he says, if there are any killer clowns from space, then I'm Porky Pig?
I think so.
Yeah, which there's a lost opportunity there. Oh yeah, yes, because that's the shadow puppet one. He says, if there are killer clowns from space, then I'm Porky Pig. Should have cut back and had him go oink or snort like a pig.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I got notes.
I would have taken a that's all, folks.
You know what I'm saying? Like it needed a button, but it's okay. They're doing a lot. There's a lot going on.
Yeah. So we go back to Mooney. Phones are ringing off the hook, like just constant ringing. He just lights a cigar. He's reading some like guns and ammo type magazine. And a clown finally walks into the police station to confront him. And I believe his response is, whoop de goddamn do.
Just a great line.
Whoop the goddamn to do. What do we have here? Well, son, I think you made a big mistake. You're in Mooney's territory now. For me? I ought to shoot you right now, you red-nosed freak. So you want to play games, eh? Turn around. to read you your rights. But you're in Mooney's jail. And you ain't got no rights. All right, Buster. God.
Yeah, and so I like that the clown does not kill him immediately. We get to spend a lot of time as like Mooney like puts the clown under arrest, like brings him back into the jail within the station.
Yeah, does the flower water in the face.
Yep. And he does this bit where he cuffs the clown, and then the clown walks away. Just his hands just pop off with the cuff still on him.
And he grows new hands.
Yep.
So and I love the party, and it's a hand.
Yeah, he locks the clown in the jail with the two dudes he locked in there before. I love that. Like, hey, what are you in for? But he uses that party popper thing, that Happy New Year's thing, and it just reaches out like a tentacle and grabs Mooney by the neck.
So awesome.
Yeah.
And as if we didn't need another reason to hate Mooney, right before that happens, when he still thinks the clown's just some dude in a clown suit, he tries to sucker punch him with a billy club on the back. And it's like, if that had been a person, that would have been such a bad deal. But, it's like, okay. So then when Mooney dies, you're like, yeah, fuck this guy.
Yeah, as he says, like, you ain't got no rights.
Right? You're in Mooney's jail.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we cut back to Deb, still scrubbing away in the shower, and we see her hamper, her hamper, like the laundry hamper, is now like rocking, like it's moving back and forth. Something's going on in there. So Dave arrives back at the police station. Phones are ringing. He answers and he just hears like mayhem.
It's a long shower.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, it's a long ass shower. The water would definitely be cold by now.
Oh my God. Yeah.
But anyway, so he answers the phone. There's like mayhem on the other end of the line. And he notices there's these like giant, what look like footprints all over the floor and the walls.
Unlimited props these guys have. The clown.
Yeah. So he comes into the jail and he sees there's like a couple of cocoons in there. There's like the one that's below and the one that's above where like a hand like falls out of it.
Yeah.
It's such a waste of a snack. They just make them cut you you're just wasting food now, clowns,
Well, maybe they'll come back and collect them later or something.
Maybe it's a snack for later murder sprees.
Right. So he walks out of the jail, sees the clown, and we get this crazy scene of ventriloquism.
Hey, James. Who was the lady I saw you with last night? Don't worry, Dave. All we want to do is kill you.
That's so insane.
Yeah. This is the darkest scene, I think, in the whole movie.
It reminded me of an Independence Day when the alien,
No peace.
And also he looks a lot like the puppet in Saw.
Yeah, he's got like the clown makeup on him.
Yeah, he's got like the red cheeks and like the blood dripping jowls.
Yeah. And John Vernon does a great job, going from Mooney to Mooney puppet. All we want to do is kill you.
Yeah. All you want to do is kill you. It's a great line. That's a great, like, woo, woo, woo. It's a good moment.
Yeah, it is a good moment because it's like, this is the only time we ever get anything of the clown's motives at all. They're what they're thinking. And so is through this puppetry. But Dave shoots the clown a few times. It does nothing until he shoots it in its big red nose, which causes it to like turn into a big spinning emerald and then blow up.
Yeah, that's exactly great
description. Bloom. It's like, it's very much video game, right? Like hit this one red dot and that's the weakness.
Well, it's also very clown related too, like all like the buttons and everything.
Sure.
Yeah, it makes sense that like I guess the nose would be a vulnerable spot, as you said, Rich. It's a little video gamey. Although he doesn't have to hit the nose 3 times. That would really be
sure.
Zelda-fy it there for you.
They're very fragile noses.
Yeah, they don't wear. If I knew that a single shot to my nose would be immediately fatal, I'd wear something over my face.
Yeah.
I'd cover that nose up in, diamonds or something.
Definitely
Yeah.
a hard stone.
Steel. Yeah,
Hard-
anything. So yeah, so now we know their weakness. So Dave radios for help, and there's like nothing on the other end for a second, and then fortunately we hear help is on the way. We cut to the ice cream truck careening around town, and they're using the like speaker on it to try and get the clowns' attention.
Calling all clowns, calling all clowns. This is JoJo. Are there any space clowns out there?
You guys, will you stop fooling around?
Look, Mike, come on. Cocoons, popcorn guns, monster shadows. Woo. I mean, what do you think we are?
Yeah, we're not as stupid as we look.
This isn't the first wild thing you've tried to put over on us.
Look, you remember Hidden Lake?
Oh, come on, forget Hidden Lake. This has nothing to do with Hidden Lake.
Oh, we would have to be total morons to believe this clown invasion crap.
If there are killer clowns running around here, then I'm Porky Pig.
And they come upon a clown parade.
The murder parade.
Again, huge props to the art department. This
Yeah.
big vehicle, all these. Yeah, it was great. It looked great.
And the guy who's hiding under the car, every single time I watch the movie, I'm like, dude, you just stay right there. But that fool gets up and becomes cotton candy.
Yeah,
Yep.
I would have waited definitely until that.
Definitely
that was out
waited
of
till the murder
earshot.
parade goes by.
Yeah. But yeah, as you said, Rich, I love the design of this. Like that giant.
The scoop.
Yeah, the scope of it. Like there's like constantly like again like streamers and stuff. Like there's I don't know what maybe 6-7 clowns accompanying it as it slowly parades down the street. Like it's cool.
And the specificity in all of their masks and hair, it's all so unique. We get such different distinct characters just through the costuming and the mask work. It's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, you mentioned that like the clowns are all like unique. Like each of their designs is they make them recognizable in terms of their face structure, the colors, the makeup, the hair, all of it. It's like they don't because we don't get their names or anything, but at least I could remember like, oh yeah, that's the big blue one. That's the,
or like that was the little guy. You develop like, and they have through line character quirks too. Like they've got personality, and it's all non-verbally portrayed. It's really good. It's a good movie.
I think the look of all the clowns is just it's art. It's really like how can we take clowns and make them as scary looking as possible and different, and they nailed it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So shower time is finally over. And Deb gets out. She's getting dressed, and we finally find out what the popcorn is. It's basically clown cum, to be blunt. Like they're clown spores, because she opens the hamper.
I didn't connect that. Yeah, that makes sense.
These two like giant like clown heads,
clowns?
almost like a jack in the box. Like they're on the ends of tentacles. They come out and they start like biting at her. These are like the larval clowns.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Pupa
when they're
stage.
still in clown snake form. Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely have like some sort of like clown life cycle, and this is early on in that cycle. So these are juvenile clowns trying to bite her, and then like one comes out of the toilet. Like it's gross.
They just want to make her sweater look better. They just wanted to give her some boho chic distressing.
Sure, I'll give you distressing.
Yeah, I nailed that.
Yep.
She gets bitten by a couple of them. I thought this might have repercussions the first time I saw it. It doesn't, but she does get bitten by some clown snakes.
Yeah, and she just managed to basically evade them and run out the door. But before she can get anywhere, the big clowns are there, and they put her in a giant balloon.
Yeah, that's terrifying. She goes to open the window, and there's a trampoline. Like,
oh, that's right. Yeah, there's like kind of like this 3-stage like comedy routine of like I'll go out the window, and there's just a bunch of clowns like with the fireman trampoline waiting for her. Yep. They pull a couple of these different things, and it's just, none of them work. She's toast.
Her balloon's really cool though.
More bits.
More bits. Yum yum yum. More bits. Yum yum yum.
So the guys in the ice cream truck watching the parade, they see them removing Deb in the giant balloon. So now we have a chase as they pursue.
Dun, 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 dun.
This chase ends pretty quickly with them getting rear-ended by Dave.
I'm sorry. When she evades the snake clowns, she just gently drapes the shower curtain over them.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just had to point that out.
I know what will defeat snake clowns. A small, flimsy shower.
Just gently.
So like I said, the car chase ends pretty quickly because Dave rear ends them. They kind of stop quickly, and that happens. So they let Dave know that the clowns have Deb, so he commandeers the ice cream truck, and it's now time to go to the amusement park at the end of the pier. And I love this. So there's this night watchman who's just hanging around the amusement park, and the clown car
The
pulls
third
up.
of three great victim characters:
Yeah.
the farmer in the first, the shopkeep, and then now the security guard.
Yeah, I love it. So we haven't had a good clown car bit, and now it's time. Because they have this clown car that pulls up, and they all get out of it just as you expect. And they confront the night watchman, and they just throw pies at him.
He's so sweet.
An infinite number of pies.
Acidic, melty, bone melting pies.
Bone melt, flesh searing pies.
Yeah, we don't know that yet. We just see like what looks like a giant pile of like what used to be a Boston cream pie. Like it's just pie crust and like filling and stuff in this huge mound, and they put a giant cherry on top, which is a great touch.
It's hilarious.
And we'll find out, like you said, that what's happening underneath that pile is he's being quickly liquefied. Because our team pulls up and they find the ice cream pile with this skeleton arm just dangling out of it.
He's like, it's not. No. He says some really simple throwaway line like, no, it's not.
Well, the two dudes are gonna like eat the pie filling or whatever, and they're like quickly like, nope, don't eat that.
Yeah, and pretty much in every shot, the brothers have ice cream in their hands.
Yeah, they're dodos, but they're
dodos. They are dodos.
So they decide, all right, we're gonna go into the fun house, which is kind of like the base of it connects up with the big top spaceship that is now there at the amusement park.
It's pretty good digs, pretty good hideout.
I love this first thing that they go into, which is like, so the interior of this space is like non-Euclidean and makes no sense. So they're in this enormous empty space, again, no walls or anything. It's just this empty space with these huge cardboard cutout, like there be monsters, kind of beasties.
Yeah.
With
dinosaurs and like where the wild things are, kind of.
Yeah.
Zero explanation, just yep, this goes here and that makes sense and you will like it or you won't.
And I just think it's great in the shot. They absolutely do. They cross to one side and then they like zigzag cross to the other. Like it's so Scooby-Doo, which I think is part of its charm.
And this is the one time where they decided, well, let's try and give some explanation for what's happening.
Ooh, scary. Dad, did you get through for help?
Yeah, help is on the way.
You tell him it was an invasion?
I told him, but I don't really believe it myself. Where did they come from? Why are they here? Why clowns?
They're not clowns. Some kind of animal from another world that just look like clowns. Shit, Dave. Maybe they're the ancient astronauts, that came to our planet centuries ago? And our idea of clowns just comes from them. How come they're not funny?
Maybe they're from a dying planet. Maybe their son pooped out and they need a new place to live.
Maybe they're using us for experiments to dissect and study.
So that means they're intelligent. So why don't they communicate with us? I mean, talk to us instead of killing us.
Maybe they're just cruising through the galaxy and stopped here for a bite to eat.
And they try and posit this idea that maybe these clowns had been visiting Earth for a while, and so all of our clown shit, that like our earthly clown stuff it's like Stargate. It's like based on the alien clowns, so that helps explain like, oh, okay, we copied them. They're not like weirdly, they look like clowns. I think they even talk about what are their motives, and like, no, they're hungry. They want to eat us and reproduce and shit. Like they don't.
Yeah, they're just traveling through space and stopped off for a snack.
Just canifying humans.
Yep. So we come to a big red button, which of course, you mentioned Ren and Stimpy. Don't
big red button.
BlueSky button.
Yeah.
Will he push the button? The jolly candy-like button.
It's so satisfying when he does. Like, oh, and it's a good like full hand. Like,
It's the like the Staples like big red button.
Yeah.
Yeah, the easy button or whatever they call it.
Yeah. The easy button.
So yeah, the dudes push it, and the two brothers go down into a giant ball pit.
Yeah.
With vixen hot clown ladies.
Yeah, it's inflation fetish time.
Inflation boobies. Oh.
Yeah.
And when we say their boobs inflate, like it's like literally like balloons. Like you hear like
Yeah,
you know, as
you
they
hear
hit
the
it.
exact sound of it. Yeah, they're not hiding it. Yeah.
Right.
But these brothers don't. They're not picky. That's fine with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a non-zero chance that they hooked up with these lady clowns.
Yeah, because in the next they're covered in lipstick all over their faces and their clothes are shredded.
Yeah.
So we cut back to Dave and Mike back in this hallway, and there's way more cocoons in the cocoon room than there were the first time around. It's like there's, you know, like literally like 12 times as many cocoons. The clowns have been busy all night.
Yeah.
Gathering people.
Well, they had the murder parade.
Yeah.
Sure.
And so, yeah, they hide. And this is where we see the clown has this enormous, like, squiggly straw that he puts into there and just sucks up pink juice from within.
And I don't know if it's just me, but this clown is giving some Donald Trump energy.
All of the clowns have Donald Trump.
Right. Well, yeah. But this one, I was like, he kind of
This candified human is the best tasting candified human I've ever had.
And I've had a lot of candified humans.
For what it's worth, my interpretation of this moment is like when you see Scarface take a little bit of Coke to make sure it's good. Like, I don't think that this is how they typically get their nutrition from these. I think this is just him making sure, yep, the process is going well.
Yeah, we
Again,
did some
who knows?
tapping and some sniffing. You know, it was clearly, you know, a quality age candification test.
Yeah, it's the old again. Is this a good cantaloupe? You know, bop bop.
Yeah, and I had, yeah.
Right. So they find Deb, and they use a gun to shoot open the balloon, which works fine. Although they are rightly concerned about the noise and the attention this will bring. And I love this moment of like, we can't run. We can't leave these other people behind. Well, yeah, we can. Fuck it.
Paul was right, man. They are hungry. They're gonna eat everybody,
Just
man.
calm down. Just calm down, all right? We gotta find Debbie before it's too late. All right. Hey, that's the one. The yellow balloon. Is she in there?
Yeah, she's in there.
Debbie?
She's alive.
God,
How do we get her out of here?
Go.
Careful, Mike. Damn it!
Debbie? Honey? Hang on a sec, Mike.
What are you doing?
Just stand back, Mike.
You can't shoot. You could kill her.
Well, just back off, all right? Now just get ready to run. Are you all right? Are you okay?
I can't breathe.
Okay, well, Mike, you'll fix it. Oh, God. We gotta get the hell out of here. Come on. Come on. Come on. Wait a second, guys. We can't leave. There might be other people still alive in these balloons.
Come on, it's too late.
Dave!
She goes,
Yeah.
they're not putting me in a balloon again. Right, Deb. You tell him.
So now they're fleeing, they're running, they're shooting back. Dave is managing to kill a fair number of clowns by hitting them in the nose. But there's a lot of them, and they go down this wiggly hallway through this giant anglerfish, a hallway full of balloons. They go out the other side of the anglerfish, just more like Willy Wonka-esque hallways and stuff, until they come to this huge room and they bar the door with a shotgun. And now there's so many clowns they don't know what to do with. They climb up onto this giant cardboard box pile of just, again, colorful quadrilaterals.
Well, it's like a podium, but yeah, what Rich said, like at a circus, you know, you have all these different levels, for the elephants to stand on, and different tiers of boxes.
Sure.
Yeah. And so they are surrounded, and we don't know what they're going to do, but
Their weapons are really cool.
Yeah, they do have a bunch of like different weapons. Yeah, all these different like clown weapons. And so, yeah, all hope seems to be lost. But then the ice cream truck comes blasting through.
Look at this place. Where do we go now?
Let's go. Everyone, up on top. Come on, let's move. Come on.
And the truck declares, I am the great and powerful JoJo, to distract them while the team gets away. But then something descends from the ceiling and the clowns all beat it because now we were up against Clownzilla.
Final baddie, high status feral clown.
Clown kaiju, let's do this.
I love that we all three of us the three interpretations.
And it's on puppet strings too. Like it descends on strings, and then it just wrecks the truck. Yeah, and throws
Feral
it.
is all get out.
Yep, but I believe they get it in the nose.
They do,
of course, because it's got a big old nose, and that's the target. So it explodes. And they get the hell out of the ship. And
so does Dan, I feel like Dan didn't get out, right? Like he stayed fighting the final battle and then he went up in the spaceship.
Well, no, then it exploded.
So there was, we'll get to this, but there was a different ending to the movie originally in the, or in the script, and they changed it where Dave does not make it.
Maybe that's where I'm confused. Yeah.
He makes
Dave, I'm sorry.
In the original script, I think he makes the big sacrifice.
I thought that's the one that I remember. Yeah.
So the ship is like getting ready to leave, like it's pulling the cables are pulling up stakes, like it's gonna spin around. So Dave is out of bullets. He's grabbed by the giant clown, but he uses his police badge, the pin on the badge, to pop the nose. The whole ship goes kaboom. The clown car falls, but Dave gets out. The dudes get out too, and finally the state troopers pull up, and we have a little like quick denouement. Like, well, do you think it's over? But Dave is out. Like he made it out. He's okay.
Yeah.
And they're
in fact, he's got his hands all over Debbie, even though she's with Mike. So what's up with that?
He's just happy to be alive.
Dave! Oh!
You made it!
Oh.
You got him, man.
Wow, what a ride!
Well, that's the last time we let you drive.
You're alive. Yeah, but I saw you guys get blown up in the ice cream truck.
Oh, that? Well, we hid in the freezer with the ice cream.
Yeah. Anybody want a dipsicle?
Oh, you and your ice cream.
What?
How are we gonna pay for the truck?
Don't blame me. It was your idea.
No, it wasn't. You're the one who said we could get girls.
You said you
I
could.
did not.
Hey, listen, if it wasn't for me, you'd be a dead French fry.
Oh, yeah, well, you'd be a dead popsicle.
Do you think it's over?
Yeah, sure.
I guess so.
Happy to be groping.
And then, so it wouldn't be a horror movie without one last scare, because there's a question like, do you think it's over? And then all of these just pies rain down on them, and the song kicks in, the title song kicks in again, and that's the end of the movie.
Yeah, and they never like, are these pies going to liquefy these people, or are they, now that the clowns are destroyed, do the pies have no power? We'll never know.
No, but what a fun, weird ride this movie is. Like,
So awesome. It's like Mr. Toad's Wild Ride in a way.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way of putting it. Yeah, it feels like an amusement
Zany.
park ride. Yeah, in the way that like when you go on something like Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, the fun is like as you go around a curve, some weird thing just kind of pops up and is in your face,
Mhm.
and then that'll keep happening on this carnival ride, and that's basically what happens here.
And it keeps being escalated, and then you're safe in the setup of you're going to be spinning around and all this stuff's going to be revealed, but you're going to be safe throughout it.
Yeah. So, I want to talk a little bit about kind of why this movie still endures as because it is a cult classic that I think will be around for a while. But before we do that, I just wanted to ask: have either of you played around? Because they came out with a Killer Clowns from Outer Space video game this year.
Yep.
Have either of you? I have not laid hands on it, so I don't know.
Yes. Former guest of the podcast, Dan Oster, and I played it. It is fun. What I was hoping for when they said Killer Clowns game was like a story game where you're like playing, Mike and Debbie, and you're going through and putting clues together and stuff. But what it is more like this. And I know there's a name for this, but I'm not a huge gamer, so I don't know. You might know it, Doug. But it's like a battle royale game where you play online against people, and it's like you're either the clowns or you're the people, and one wins, one doesn't, and they're about 15-minute long games, that kind of thing.
Yeah, they call this asymmetrical multiplayer.
Okay.
And the reason they call it that is so like you could be, as you said, depending you start at the game and you wind up on either the humans team or the clowns team. And typically the reason it's asymmetrical is that the clowns might be fewer in number, they're powerful, but like I said, there's not as many of them. They have limitations. The humans will be weaker, but there's more of them, or they're faster. So in some way, it's not like two even teams like you would have in like basketball. And the round lasts 15 minutes or so, and you run around the map trying to stop each other. And the humans have some set of objectives, and the clowns have their own objectives, and whoever wins, and that's the game. Like
That
that's
sounds
it.
pretty fun. I'm gonna have to hit up Dan and play some of this Killer Clowns game.
It's interesting. It's one thing about it, and this may be typical of these asymmetrical team games, but is that you don't get to pick. Like it randomizes who you are, and so I think I played as the clown like 3 or 4 times, but I mostly played as humans because, as I said, there's a lot more of them. But it was interesting. It's not one that I necessarily want to play a lot of, but if they ever do want to make like a campaign type story game for Killer Clowns, I would absolutely love to see it.
So here we are, kind of at the end of this, and I'll ask you, Mary, first. Why do you think it is that people are still pulling this one out to watch it on Halloween?
I think in a world where we're being forced so much CGI, it's so nice to have the puppets and the masks. There's something really charming about that, very Jim Henson invoking. There's just like a whimsical quality that takes us back to, like I was saying, me being a kid and sneaking watching Ren and Stimpy. And just the cheese factor, it's just so incredibly deliciously cheesy. So I think the factor of like the actual the clowns themselves and just the nostalgia factor of a really delicious cheesy movie gives it a lasting place.
Rich, how about you?
So many things about this that I love. I totally agree with Mary that with CGI, that to go back and look at practical effects. Like I've watched in preparation for this, I watched a number of YouTubers watch this, and they claim they're watching for the first time. I assume they are, but I mean, they're always talking about, wow, you can really see the difference between CGI versus something that's real. And I love it. I'll always love it. But this movie has so many things. It's a small movie. It takes place in one night in one small town, handful of locations, made up town, Crescent Cove, California. It's got cool sound effects. It's got great music. The acting is not good if you're looking for realistic acting, but if you're looking for cheeseball camp horror acting, it's perfect. Especially those 3 characters that I mentioned, the the farmer in the beginning, the shopkeep, and the security guard. They have small parts, but they get me every time. What are you boys gonna do with them pies? You know, and it's just like, what kind of, you know, the Stanislavski's rolling over in his grave with that, but like, you know, the point of acting isn't always to be realistic, it's to entertain, and that line entertains me every time, and so does the eyes and everything, and of course the music, not just the score is great, but and then the song Killer Clown's fantastic. So I don't know, I don't know why I love this movie, but it's got a lot of good attributes to it.
You know, there's the old saying, right? They don't make them like they used to.
Yeah.
And they never made them like this.
Mhm.
This is a really one of a kind. I was trying to think of other movies that are sort of like this in tone, and you know, as you said, Gremlins sort of touched on
Mhm.
this in a little bit. Another thing that came to mind is Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Mhm.
You know,
Sure.
there's movies like this, Toxic Avenger, where like there
Yeah.
is an artistic vision, right? There's an idea of like these guys, these brothers, like they want to make this movie happen. They
Yeah.
have some this. It's one of those things where like as an artist, like sometimes you just get an idea and it just eats at you until it exists by force of
Yeah.
will. And this is one of those things where like nobody told them no. They somehow made it happen, and there's a sincerity to it that
Yeah.
makes it different than the Sharknadoes and all of these like winky things that would come later. It's not postmodern in any way. There's something still straightforward about it, even as much as it is silly and campy, that but still just enough to be transgressive. So like I think like if this is a unique flavor of Halloween thing
Mm.
that is a lot of fun, and like I could see this just being on in the background at a Halloween party, and people
Oh
really
yeah.
like, you know, digging this because the vibe of it is like still spooky Halloween fun of a very 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 unique flavor.
Absolutely.
I think it also lives in the genre category of movies that would be on Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Yeah.
And that's a genre to me that I treasure, like the monster movies, like the Mothra. I even put some of the Ray Harryhausen in this category. Like it's a broad category that can be broken down into more individual slices, but just a monster movie to me, that's what my point. A monster movie that was made with a lot of passion and it is what it is, and it makes no apologies for itself.
Yeah. Doug, there's also an interesting mirror, I think, that a movie that I know you and I love, Mary. I don't know if you are a fan or not, but UHF, because it's a small movie that, and like no one, it's a bunch of, it's very independent, no named actors, at least named at the time, except they got one guy. It was the big bad, you know, that was Mooney in this case, and it was the station owner, Andrew, I can't think of his name, but
Kevin McCarthy.
Thank Kevin McCarthy, thank you. And you know, it's like there's something about these two movies. I love them both, but they feel very mirror images of each other in some kind of ways, even though they're different genres.
There's definitely a sense of like, how did these guys get this made? Although
Yeah.
UHF, I mean, Weird Al was still popular enough to make a movie at the time. Like
Sure,
these guys are really nobodies.
Mhm.
But I see what you mean. There's like that independent spirit behind the movie of like, you know, I want this thing to exist for other people to see what's in my brain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So thanks both of you guys for making me watch this again, because it's been way too long, and
Oh, I'm so
it
glad.
was just what a treat this is for Halloween. I'm glad we're kicking off October with it. Mary, if people want to find you, is there anything they should look for, places on social media, stuff you want to plug?
Yeah, follow me on Instagram, Mary Hynes, Merry, as in Merry Christmas, and then my name, Mary Hynes, Maryhynes. Do improv around LA. I'm doing some more puppetry work, so the best way to see what I've got cooking up next is on Instagram at Mary Hynes.
And Rich, where do they find you?
If you want to take some improv classes, whether it's online or in person, go to richbakercoaching.com. Or if your business wants to get some improv training that can help you with team building and the like, go to playlikeateam.com.
And of course, if you like this show, please do spend the time to go give it a review wherever you found it. That is very helpful for the show's visibility. And beyond that, also just tell your friends, tell people you know that you liked it and you want them to listen to it. That's also really helpful for helping grow the podcast. If you want to send us feedback, I'll put links, as always, to all of our different social media portals in the show notes. Going back, so our recent episodes that you've just heard, if I can work these backwards in my mind correctly, would have been Aerosmith, Hook, In Living Color, and before that, George Carlin with Rich. So that was what you just heard. And coming up is the rest of our Halloween lineup, which should be, let's see, Return to Oz up next, followed by Nightmare on Elm Street, the original. And then I think we're going to close out October and lead into the next holidays with, of course, The Nightmare Before Christmas. And we'll have some other Halloween bonus stuff in there, as we always do, but I'll stay mum on that, what that's going to be for now. And so, yeah, thanks everybody for coming by. This was great to have some clown time with y'all.
Thanks so much, Doug.
Woo!
All right, so until next time, that is one more entry in the Nostalgia Archive.
Franklin, great to see you. Been years.
Mr. President, my son is being held hostage in Iraq, and I need you to save him. Now, I've given money to the Republicans for years and never asked for anything in return.
You asked to be Secretary of Balloon Doggies.
I didn't ask to be Secretary of Balloon Doggies. The Balloon Doggies demanded it. Isn't that right, Balloon Doggie? No, shut up.
Oh, Lord.